Hi, it's Sandy. Welcome to my little studio. Today we're going to get out our holiday colored gel prints and make beautiful paper wrap bottle ornaments that are guaranteed to become family heirlooms. Darcy and PMArtists has created a great project for this month called December Daily. There's a different prompt of each day of the month to get your creativity flowing. We're working on number 14, Deck the Halls Christmas Decorations. I've put together a journal page which gives you a feel for how I've decorated my home, along with gel paper wrap ornaments which I created. I decided to give you a brief view of the journal page and then proceeded to create a bauble from a foam floral ball I covered in gel prints using great wooden stamps and foam stamps from PMArtists Studios. So I'm working on number 14 for Darcy's December Daily, which is Deck the Halls Christmas Decorations. One of the things I love the most about Christmas time is making decorations, especially ornaments. For this prompt, I put together a journal page which gives you a feel for the decorations around my house. I created pockets for tags on the page and decided to fill them with gift tags I created last month during the PMArtists Studio Makers Group Swap. I got carried away and made more gift tags than I needed, so I'm using them throughout my December journal. I created these paper-wrapped ornaments using new and old gel prints in coordinating colors with candy cane swirls. I've been a bit of a gnome obsessed for several years, so they found their way onto all my ornaments too. I'd like to take you through a tutorial showing how I made these ornaments, including a new technique on the gel press I'm calling reverse stamping. So here are some of the gel prints I created for this project and other holiday paper crafts. Most of these are book pages, printed in red and white with hints of teal and metallic silver. Some of the pages were done with handmade swirl masks, which look great, but were a bit large for the ornaments. The wooden and foam stamps were a more appropriate size and shape, but where the foam stamps are easy to use on the gel plate, the wooden stamps can be a bit tricky, since they were made for ceramics. So I'll give you a quick tutorial on how I use them. I used to use quite a few prints on wet straight tissue. It's thin and pliable and layers really well, which makes it perfect for the round ornaments. This is one of the wood stamps I used on the wet straight tissue paper. And also coming up, I'm going to show you one of the foam stamps I used. This is a PMArtists Studios foam stamps called Atomic Burst. And I use the teal over that to add layers and the retro effect, so get a really nice look. Okay, for the first thing we need to do to get this reversed stamp effect is to get a thin coat of paint onto your jelly plate, and you want it almost dry, just kind of tacky, and then you're going to take the stamps and just press them into the gel plate and give them a little wiggle, and it will pick up the red paint and you'll be able to see through to the jelly plate, so it'll be a negative effect. And you want to just keep repeating that until you get the look that you're looking for. I did quite a few on this one, and then I went to the larger plate and filled up stamps on that one as well. And once that was completely dry, we're going to put a coat of white paint on top of it, and you'll see how that, once that's dry and we pull the prints, we get a really nice effect. I've seen other artists do similar techniques. In fact, Eddie from Eddie Makes Art did a similar video where he used his fingers to remove paint from the gel press, creating a wonderful texture. I'll link that video in the description. But I haven't seen anybody work with these wood stamps. The stamps are available on Amazon for a decent price, and I really like the results. So I went ahead and pulled this with book pages, and you can see from the print that they come out very nice and crisp and clean. So you get a beautiful print from those reverse stamp effect. So next I'm going to go ahead and do a reverse of what I did with the red. I'm starting with the white and going through with the stamps, and once again pressing lightly, pulling up and stamping off, and it's picking up the white paint and leaving the reverse effect on the Geli plate. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the PMArtists Studio foam stamps, and I'm putting this light green color on them, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp that on top of the white to give it just a kind of a nice effect, kind of a light effect. And as I mentioned before, it gives it kind of a retro feel. So I'm filling up the plate with that, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull the print with red this time. Okay, so once that was printed and dried, we went ahead and cut those up into different size little shapes to adhere to the foam ball, which is a floral ball, and I believe we got that at Walmart in the floral section. So what I'm doing is I'm putting gel medium onto the back side of the papers. I'm using book papers and also prints on the tissue paper, and just kind of getting them wet with the gel medium, and then I'm going to start placing them onto the green ball, and I'm going to put some gel medium on that as well. And then once we get that good and saturated, I'll start adding those little pieces of paper and taking that and going around the whole thing, starting in one area and working around. It helps if when you get about halfway through, if you take a breath and let it dry, and then finish on the second side. It'll be much easier to handle. So continue around and just keep putting the matte medium onto the ball, and adding the papers and working around. Try and vary different colors so you get a little bit of variation as you go around. Will be a little bit more interesting, and you know, the scrunching up and rough effect gives it that nice grunge effect as well. So don't worry too much about making mistakes. Just go for it. So now that it's all covered, you want to take a look around the ball and see if you could find any areas that you missed, or areas that are sticking up a little bit that you need to just kind of rub down, and you want to fill in those little areas that you missed. And then after you're done with that, you're just going to set it aside and let it dry really well before proceeding to the next step. I recommend putting it on some type of plastic or like this non-stick oven mat that I have here so it doesn't stick as well. Once you find the top, you're going to pierce the surface and make a hole where you can place your hanger. It's easy to pierce, so anything pointy will work. Next, add heavy glue into the hole and on the top of the string and push the string into the hole as far as you can. I'm using E6000 glue, but any type of super glue or tacky glue will work just fine. Excuse my crumpled up old E6000, but it gets a lot of work around here. And also the hanger I use is a hemp string. I recommend using something durable and similar to this type of thickness. Once the hanger is in place, we need to determine the front where we will place the focal point. It helps to hold the ornament from the hanger so you can see how it rests on the hanger and where the best visual area is. So now let's create that focal point using techniques similar to creating ephemera in your journal pages, card making, and other paper crafts. On the first ornament I made, I used a handmade red paper at the back with a speckled netting and ribbon over it, and of course a cute little gnome at the front. But remember, you can always substitute any of this to go with your home decor style. So I'm going to do something similar to what I did on this guy. I cut out several gnomes that I printed on my inkjet printer. Initially, I printed on photo mat cardstock, but the cardstock is not very pliable and didn't adhere well to the round surface. So I tried again using rice paper cut to an 8.5 by 11 and put through my inkjet printer. And it printed pretty well, but it was very smudgy. So I landed up using markers and paints and did some touch-up, and it didn't take very long, and I had a pretty decent looking gnome. So I went ahead and I'm going to use this bluish colored gnome to put on this ornament. So I decided to try and keep all the ornaments somewhat consistent. So I think I'll use this handmade red paper along with the netting on each one. I love this handmade paper. I purchased it years ago at a paper specialty shop in the mall. It's just wonderful. It has fibers that when you pull on it come out and shred, and it just gives it a great look, and it's quite beautiful. And then next on top of that, I'm going to tear apart a piece of netting. It's kind of rough, so I have to use my scissors a little bit and then pull it apart and rip it and place that on top of the red. And so that's giving it a really good look so far. And next I'm going to choose a ribbon to put on top of the netting, and we'll see how that looks. Initially, I found this cotton lace, and it looks really great behind this little gnome. But I'm going to dig through my stash a little bit more, try out a couple different ribbons. Here's some of them. They don't look quite so good. The snowflake looks good, but I'm still kind of leaning towards this lace. So let me cut the edge and see if I could fray it a little bit and see if I can get that to look even on both sides. So let's see what happens with that. And I'll put that back down. And oh yeah, that's cute. We're going to go with that. first, before gluing down the focal point, I'm going to go around and add a few more spirals here and there. I don't think I mentioned it before, but I'm using a combination of golden matte medium and U.S. Art Supplies matte medium. It's also a varnish as well. And I'm mixing the two of them together, and mostly because I want to use the golden container so I could get my flat brush in there, because that's what works best for me. But you can use most mediums and any types of glues. A 50-50 glue, like Elmer's glue, would work great, as well as Mod Podge and many other things that are out there. So don't be afraid to try other things. You don't need to use fancy matte mediums as well. When you use handmade rice papers, you don't want to put too much glue on them, or all those fibers are just going to get lost on the ornament or on your page. So try and just keep the glue more towards the center, and then place that down before you add the next piece. Same thing goes with the netting as well that I'm putting down here. You can see where I just put mostly in the center. And then also with the ribbon, I don't want to coat the entire thing full of matte medium. And actually the matte medium didn't hold it down so well, so I landed up getting out the E6000 again and adhering it down with that, just so it holds down a little bit better. Okay, now the opposite's going to be true for this gnome. I'm going to go ahead and just give it a really nice coat of matte medium on the back side and go ahead and place that on top of the ribbon. You can see when I placed it on the ribbon and pulled back a little bit that it was starting to run from the back side of the print. So you may want to consider not just sealing the front side of your print, but also the back as well. And so once I got it on there, though, I very carefully put a top coat on the front side so it would seal it really nicely and keep it in place. Okay, so that's our focal point. The only thing left here is to add some ribbons onto the top, just to give it that little special touch. Okay, so we got the bow in position. I'm going to go ahead and tack down the ends so they stay that way. With the first ornament, I attached little snowflake charms onto it, and I got a really cute effect with that. But I know a lot of people don't have charms like I do, so I used sequenced on the second ones, and I took the sequins and lightly glued it onto the string, and once that's permanent, it's going to adhere just fine. And it's a really cute effect, and it does look like the charms. So it's a good effect. And that's a wrap. And here's my little paper wrapped ornament, all complete. And I just have 4 more to go. If you hang on to the end, I took some pictures of the ornaments around my house so you can get a feel for what it looks like. I had a hard time because my kitties kept pulling everything down while I was trying to put everything up, but we finally managed to get a few pictures for you, so please stay tuned and take a look. Thanks. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Once again, I'd like to thank Darcy from Darcy's Misadventure of Mixed Media, that's a tongue twister, for putting together this December daily project. If you would like to join the fun, there will be a link in the description. And most importantly, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thanks again for watching.